Hi. I'm making this video today. I've been wanting to make this video for a bit now, I think. Probably right after I quit my job. So only a few weeks, actually. But I guess it just feels like it's been coming even before that. Like I already knew. You know, I was going through this transitional period. And part of me wants to document the rise, you know what I mean? Like, to others on the outer, it may look like I have no idea what I'm doing, right? And I don't, really, but I also do at the same exact time, if that makes sense. Every time I start filming, a plane goes by. I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now, I think. Well, the past week, the past few months, I've been overwhelmed, but right now I'm feeling a lot of emotions and thoughts, and I really want to be able to transmute it properly to you. For many reasons. I think, one, to document this, be able to look back on it and be like, wow, look at me, I really went through that. I rose, and that's what I know I'm doing right now, but it's just scary. Two, it's scary and I want to talk about it with maybe other people that are going through it or have already been through something like this, like a death and rebirth transitional period. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's mental, it's physical. Oh my God, it's everything. And three, to comfort you if you're going through it, right? So to comfort me and you. And four, I'm passionate about making little fucking movies, man. I've always been, since I was little. My cousin and I were running around making little movies, and I'd be directing, kind of being I'm a little bit much sometimes, but I think through the years it's kind of dulled down to people please, but I'm working on it. Point is, on the outer, it may look like I have no idea what I'm doing, and I really don't. But in my soul, in my heart, in my gut, it's everything's gonna be okay. I'm figuring it out, it's happening. In my brain, it's freaking out, even my gut sometimes, because anxiety, right? But my brain does not want to accept that there is this huge change coming, while simultaneously being so excited and ecstatic for this huge change because I have been craving it since I was born. Seriously, for as long as I can remember, I'm I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. And here I am, I'm 22, so it's not it's never too late. I could be 40 right now, 50, whatever, and still be going through something like this. But I'm just excited that I am 22 and I'm being brave enough to face it and go for it. And honestly, turning back is not an option anymore. Not to say that every single day I don't think about it. Yeah, I do, because I'm horrified, because I'm vulnerable. Yeah, my rat died, my baby. After that, I got dumped, which is fine. Then I quit my job, which is great. And it all sounds like these bad things, but in a weird way, it all aligns, and it's all that push that I need, because I'm at this weird point where referring back to my comfort isn't an option anymore. It's I'm too wise now, not to toot my own horn. I just mean I'm too aware to go back to that comfortability. If I went back into my old patterns and ways, it would no longer be comfortable anymore. So no matter what I do, it's uncomfortable right now. So I might as well go for it and be uncomfortable and chase my dreams, whatever they even are. Because I don't even really fully know what they are. I'm kind of getting in tune with it again, but that's a really interesting concept, actually. And another fucking plane is going by. Basically, I'm horrified, and I'm trying to turn that into excitement, and there is a lot of excitement, but there's mainly horror right now. I'm scared. I am facing everything I've repressed from my past And I'm not the type to repress things, so it's really interesting to think that there's things that I repressed that I didn't even notice, and now that I don't have a job, I have the opportunity to actually sit in it, and that's really uncomfortable. And I am constantly having to remind myself that the uncomfortable is okay, but it doesn't fucking feel okay. Do you know what I mean? Because it's uncomfortable. Hello. In your head, to do things like this in public is like horrifying, but then you actually do it and it just makes you interesting. Like, people just want to say hi to you and know what you're doing, which I guess is spooky for someone who's like shy. That's another thing. I'm currently throwing up all of this old shit that no longer works in my life. One is like caring about what people think. That's a big one I want to make a whole separate video on. But like, if I cared, I wouldn't be able to sit here and be like talking with you right now, which I'm enjoying. But then there's also this like perfectionist part of my brain that's telling me like everything needs to be like perfect. I need to get every thought across perfectly to you. But like, the whole point, someone's here. They're not coming out. Anyways, the whole point is I'm supposed to be just being vulnerable and human and real with you, and I'm sitting here like, it needs to be perfect, it needs to be the perfect day, I need to get every thought across to them, and they're not going to want to hear what I have to say. So that correlates to this video, because while throwing away my old life and catapulting into my new one, I am just dealing with all of this crap and muck and dirt. And it's... I don't want to scare you away from going after your dream life, but whatever you've convinced yourself is going to like do it for you, like if you think that move, that apartment, that person is like going to be what makes you happy, what makes you go after what you want, it's not. You're just going to get there and be like, whoa, maybe this is like what I wanted, not what I needed. What you actually need is to sit with your stuff, which is so weird, such a strange concept, because like, how do you even do that? The way you do that is, when it gets uncomfortable, don't dip. Don't go back into your old patterns. Maybe you don't even know your old patterns yet. Maybe you're still in them. I don't know. I'm at the point where I know my patterns and I'm just struggling to get out of them and to keep going. But like I said, if I refer back to my old comforts, it's not even comfy anymore. One of my big comforts is like finding a relationship and being like, okay, you're my thing I'm going to latch onto and feel good. And I did that with someone for like 4 months. And like, the whole time I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong. Like, I can't do this. I'm not even comfortable in my comfort. I'm not even comfortable, you know? So I'm going on this trip in a couple of months, and I probably have just enough money to do it. You know, you see those videos of people like, I moved with $100 in my pocket, and you're like, wow, I wish I could do something like that. Like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I don't only have $100 in my pocket, I have enough money for the trip, basically. But when I quit, part of me was like, uh-oh, I don't have the money to do my trip anymore. And like, there was a small part of me that was like gonna give up on it, but there was an even bigger part of me that was like, hell no, we're gonna make this work. Like, even if you have to get another job for a couple of months, even if you have to be like super frugal, eat freaking rice and beans. But I think part of it is also learning to like surrender to the moment. And it's different, because it's like, it's hard to decipher. It's like, oh, I'm unhappy in my job. A lot of people, it would be very difficult for them to just be like, okay, I'm going to quit. Do you know what I mean? You have bills to pay, maybe you have other mouths to feed. It's hard to, it all comes back to like being able to balance yourself and being able to like be in tune enough with yourself and what's around you to understand like when is like the right time, how do you go about it, and like being able to trust, which is so hard if you're at a point where like you're unhappy, you know, like you're already unhappy or you're already pinching pennies. It's like you're at this point where like you're in this energy, not even in a woo-woo kind of way, like you're literally in an energy of like scarcity, you know what I mean? So you're gonna keep continuing to stay in that energy of scarcity. And then if you take that one thing that's comforting you away, like a job or a partner or that's not necessarily even in alignment, it's gonna maybe make that scarcity feeling increase. So it like all comes down to like your emotions, being able to be stable, addressing your shit, being able to like stand your ground even when things are uncomfortable, even if you have to go through a phase of uncomfortability, and still being able to like find joy and happiness and like raise yourself above that so that you don't have to stay in this like icky, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like all icky and horrible. It could just be like maybe you have a really great job and a really great partner, but you're like, something doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? I'm not passionate. I'm not feeling alive. Like there needs to be some kind of jump or change. And change is scary. And I apologize if I sound a little bit all over the place. I suppose I have not sorted my thoughts about it fully yet because it's overwhelming and it's scary. But this is kind of a way for me to do that. So hopefully this is making sense. It doesn't sound like it is, but I'm gonna go on this trip and I don't know, I'm scared. Like, I don't know if I'm even really scared about the like trip itself. Like, yeah, it's the idea of like getting there and having to navigate on my own, because maybe I'm not like the best navigator, but I'm gonna increase that skill on this trip. I'm not even really scared of like everything people are telling me, you're gonna get kidnapped, blah, blah, blah. Luckily, I've had a couple like grown people, like wise people be like, hey, don't let people scare you of like going and visiting other places. They're wonderful. Like no one's gonna hurt you. I'm going to Portugal, by the way, and Spain. But yeah, there's people chirping, you're gonna get kidnapped, this is gonna be dangerous. And like, honestly, that's one of my biggest fears, and I'm not even scared about that. Ironically, I'm not really exactly sure what's horrifying me, and I think it's that that just made me take a deep breath, actually. I think that it's that I know this trip is so incredibly aligned, probably one of the most aligned things I've ever done in my life. And I think that that is spooky. And I think that there is this urgency to just go, 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 go. Like I just want to get up and force myself into this uncomfortable situation so that I don't have the option to like go back into my old ways, right? And oftentimes I just want to like right now, like I would just get up and move and like, but then all my problems would come with me, right? So I'm aware that I have like baggage I have to sort through first. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, does it? What I'm trying to say is old me went on this trip to Hawaii because I thought that that would fix all of my problems. If I just made myself go, that like I would just prosper. For some people that may be the case. Like you may be at a point in your life where like that's what you need to just go. But at that point, that was like 4 years ago, that wasn't the case for me. I had things to address and I was running away. I was like very anxious, lots of trauma to address, lots of patterns I had not sorted through. So just going to a new place wasn't going to get rid of all of those things, you know? So why am I so scared now? I guess I'm spooked because I don't want to do that again. I want to address my stuff. I want to run towards something, not away. But I also know it's time to go. Do you know what I mean? And I want to make sure I'm emotionally ready for that. I guess when I was 18 is when I started going through a big transition. And then that's when I did a big trip. And that felt like that was going to be the change for me. Like I was ready to take that leap. I was done feeling the way that I was feeling, but I had no idea why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I thought it was time to take the jump, and that would fix everything, and I'd feel good, finally. And a big part of it is environmental, and I do need that change. But a big part of it was just here, you know? But it's hard. Like, I don't understand. Like, we don't understand. We're all different. I'm the only one who's lived this life. There's no guidebook to tell me what to do. And I wasn't even allowing myself to address that I'd been through things, you know? I was just like, no, I'm fine. Like, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy and go. I'm fine. And so I suppose that failure, because that trip didn't go well, meant a whole lot more to me than I realized. I was just happy to, like, come home and be safe. But, like, things died there, you know? To me, I was finally taking that leap. Like, I'd been feeling this way my whole life. Like, something wasn't right. Like I needed to be fulfilled more, you know? And then I did it, and it went really bad. So I suppose this time I've put a lot of pressure on the trip, and I've taken some off. There was a lot more pressure a couple months ago. I've taken some of the pressure off, and I'm just going to let it be whatever it is, but it feels different this time. It feels like now I'm actually ready. And I'm not ready in a lot of ways too, but like, you're never ready, you know what I mean? But I'm more mature now. I've grown a lot. I understand the world a little better. I understand myself a little better. I understand my past a little better. Still working on that a lot. And I guess I'm scared I'm going to take that leap again. Go for the change. Go for my life that I want. And I'm just going to come back a week later with my tail between my legs again. Because I'm so ready. I'm so ready for change. I'm so ready for fulfillment. I'm so ready for, like, to feel stable in my own body with myself and not rely on friends or a relationship or family for emotional comfort. Like, I'm so ready to just feel, like, content and not feel like I need anyone, but just that I want good people around me, not that I need them to survive, you know? And I'm so ready to, like, find something that, like, lights me up, that, like, makes me feel good, even if it's hard, even if it's messy, like. And I'm, like, so horrified that that's not gonna happen. But no matter, like, how scared I am that it's not gonna happen, no matter how many times my brain tells me for some reason, because it's trying to, like, keep me safe, or I don't know, no matter how many times it tells me, like, it's not gonna work out, I mean, I'm still gonna go for it. And I guess I'm just gonna practice submitting to whatever happens. Kind of reminds me, I want to make a whole video about that too, but oh, I just killed this little bug. I'm sorry, dude. I'll put you out of your misery. Sorry. I just had a cold sore, right? And I wanted it to just go away because it, like, fucking hurt. And I ripped it off, like, the scab. And it made it last longer and hurt more. And I had read The Surrender Experiment, which I'll make a whole video about, but great book, you should read it. Especially if you're going through any transitional period like this. If you've made it this long in this video, I'm sure you'd benefit from it. The Surrender Experiment. What's his name? I can't remember the author's name, but it's so good. And there was something he said, he was going through something towards the end of the book. He was going through this big thing, and you know, there was some kind of resolution. He said there was no emotional scars left because he'd just submitted to the thing the whole time that it had happened. And it was like something that over a course of years. And I was like, whoa, so maybe like that resistance and that wanting to control things creates like a lot of damage, actually. Kind of the way I ripped my sore off, like it probably would have healed days earlier and not hurt as bad and not left a scar had I just waited and been like, okay, I have this cold sore, I just have to deal with it, stop messing with it, trying to fix it, you know. And it doesn't hurt to put an ice pack on it, it doesn't hurt to cleanse it, it doesn't hurt to put a Breva on it, you know what I mean, to do little things to help. But when you smother it and you rip the fucking sore off, it's gonna leave a scar and hurt more. Is that a good analogy? Cold sore analogy, herpes analogy? To surrendering to life? I hope so. If you have cold sores, maybe it'll resonate. Anyways, I know right now I'm supposed to like embrace the unknown, and I'm trying so hard to turn this fear and anxiety into like excitement for what's coming in. But I'm so spooked. I'm so spooked. And I'm still trying to control it because I'm still like, you need to heal this way. If you're triggered, you need to do this or that, which like, in a sense, that's true. You do need to do certain things, but I just don't know what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do, but I don't think I'm supposed to be even focused on what I'm supposed to do or not do. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not supposed to do anything right now, though. I'm already doing it, healing. I'm in therapy. I'm making my videos. I'm sitting with my emotions. I'm not distracting myself with a relationship. I'm attempting to heal my nervous system. Like, even though I'm doing it all, there's still this sense of, like, control. But I know when I let go that it's all just gonna, like, fall into place if I let it. But that's hard. Anyways, I'm really excited. I'm impatient. I'm nervous. But it's honestly all making me work on things that are really helpful. Like the fact that I'm so nervous, I'm like working on regulating myself through that anxiety, through that nervousness, so that when I am in my future self, I'll be able to do that. Because the thing is, chasing your dreams, getting what you want, that comes with pressure, you know? So even though this is spooky and scary, it's like preparing me for what I want, for what I'm asking for what I'm looking for, so that I don't crumble, you know? God, it's teaching me so much. And I just have to keep telling myself that it's an immense moment of growth for me. And it won't always be this way. I'm not always going to be so overwhelmed and anxious. I'm going to have times of like comfort. Oh, jet skis. That's so funny. I was just thinking how badly I want to go on a jet ski. I should be like, pick me up. Then they'll take me and murder me somewhere. Jesus. I know there's going to be a time where like I am happier than I am right now, right? And I have like that comfort again. And then maybe 5-10 years, I have another transition period. Like I just have to keep reminding myself like it's not always going to feel like this, because it is quite overwhelming, and that there's so much to learn in it, in the process. And then I'm very like grateful and lucky to be able to experience it the way that I am, and that I have these opportunities to quit my job and go to Portugal. And then when I come back, I'm hoping to, this is me like trying to plan it. There needs to be balance. I need somewhat of a plan, you know? I don't know. I mean, maybe some people just go for it and like wake up every day and like don't know, and that's exciting for them. Maybe I can do that one day for a bit. But I am thinking of coming back after getting some kind of like holiday position, maybe, to make a little more money, to have a little bit of like security. Not that I need that, but it's just a false sense of security, honestly. But I think that'll help me emotionally take the leap if I have like a little chunk of money. And it doesn't hurt, I don't think, to be a little bit responsible with that, so I don't end up in any like dangerous situations, you know? But if you want to come along, I'm going to document it somewhat, you know, the major parts. Even if you just want to like watch while you untangle whatever you're going through. So then in a few years when you're going through a transition period, you can kind of refer back to this for comfort. Or if you're currently going through it, you can go through it with me. Or if you're just curious to see what it's like when someone like faces their fears freaking head on and goes for it, because nothing is worse. None of my fears are worse than waking up one day and being like, oh my God, I'm 80 years old and I did nothing. I just kept going back to my shit. And it'd be even worse to know that I was aware of it and I kept going back, because now I know all the things that I'm doing that are not helping me. All right, guys, I'm scared. I'm excited. Please chat with me in the comments. I'm trying not to check like views as much because that's been stressing me out. That's been something really triggering me, but I'm also trying to take those moments of like being triggered as an opportunity to be like, okay, whatever's telling you is the worst that's going to happen. Even if it happens, I still love you and it's okay and everything's going to be fine. And even if it's not fine, then whatever. But this video specifically, I would really love to like chat, because I'm spooked, and we can have like a little transition period, death and rebirth support group in the comments. Or we can start one or something. I can like make a group on Instagram of like all of us who like don't know what the hell we're doing. That would help a lot, actually. Let's do that, please. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see all of my adventures and see me scared and excited and happy and maybe in love, maybe with friends and maybe with animals. All right. I love you. I think that's all I'm going to say. I never feel like I've said enough, and because I have so many thoughts constantly and I want to share them all with you. Blah, blah, blah. But I think that's all I'm going to say today. And maybe we'll come back and make another video about it when things are a little more like clear, like before I leave for the trip or something. But I'm going to document the trip as well in kind of like documentary form, hopefully. I'm trying not to put that pressure on it. I'm just picking my ear. Gross. Trying not to put like that pressure on it, because I was making this big deal about it. Like it had to be this perfect documentary, and it was like, it's kind of like the opposite of the reason that I'm going. Like I kind of want to ditch like my old patterns and like trying to make everything perfect. And this lady just disappeared. Where did she go? All right, I love you. Bye.